Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fells?
Present.
Mr. Smith?
Present.
Mr. Sturgill? Here. And Mr. Williams?
Here. This time, Dr. Hall. Pledge of Allegiance. And
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All seated.
recognition of visitors. I think we are about to have our final visitor walk in momentarily.
Tonight we have a number of items we'd like to do. On a board meeting a month or so ago, we accepted a very generous gift from the Goodman family. We have a certificate of appreciation, a press release, and some information, and then I'll have Mr. Hawks take over here. Certificate of appreciation is presented to the Goodman family on behalf of the entire Lorain City Schools community. It is with great honor and appreciation that we thank you for your generous donation of the former Goodman Beverage office building and warehouse. As the school district continues to forge ahead to better serve the children of our community, your generosity has certainly made a difference. A sincere and heartfelt thank you. On our media release that we sent out, that Lorain City Schools recently received a huge donation of a 60,000-foot square warehouse. The Goodman family donated its former Goodman Beverage Company warehouse on the corner of West 19th and Reeves Avenue to the school district, and the donation was unanimously accepted by the Board of Education. Valuation for the building and land parcels is $712,440. The facility will house the school district's vehicles, bulk supplies, maintenance department, and print shop. The district's current warehouse is quickly deteriorating. Board member Jim Smith said, "It is an exceptional gift at a time when it's desperately needed." Sam Goodman started the beverage distributorship on Hamilton Avenue in Lorain in the 1920s as Tri-City Distributing. Sam's son Kent, LHS class of 40, was responsible for building the current structure on West 19th Street in 1954. Sam Goodman's children, Larry, Michael, Fern, all graduated from Admiral King High School in the 1970s. Family spokesman Michael Goodman said, "I think it's safe to say Lorain Schools has always played a large part in my family's life, and we feel that this gift is in appreciation of this fact." And then it mentions that we're going to have a special presentation, and there will be photos from the original building. Mr. Hawks?
Thank you, Mr. Tucker and the board. At this time, we would like to invite the Goodman family to look at over here and with Michael, you guys. Many memories, I'm sure, for you and your family are placed on here. Michael was gracious enough to give us a lot of photos, many memories, like I said, for your family. In the center is the family picture, and of all the era of as you did that. We want to, again, we thank you on the bottom of our heart for Lorain City Schools. And I know that this is a big issue deal for not only for you but for us, and we're very grateful for your family that you're giving back to the community and the schools.
It is part of as part of the acknowledgement, there will be an area which we're going to determine in the high school will be named after the Goodman family in thanking them for this. That's a crucial piece.
If any of the family members like to say a word or two, please do at this time.
Dad, would you like to say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's with gratitude
that we have been living in our wonderful city of Lorain. Went through all the education that was available. And I know when I graduated in 1940, it was a wonderful experience. And I think it was reflected when our children went through their classes. And we are very fortunate being in this community. And it's giving back that we're doing with being very proud in doing this. And we know it's going to be used for a wonderful cause, because that facility is second to none in Lorain. And I know, because I was responsible for having it built. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome. I did a little research. That's what you need.
You get us all in? You never step back just a little and turn out for it. There we go.
Mr. Tucker, Mr. Hawks, thank you for preparing the commemorative gift. And that was very thoughtful. And Jim
Jim did a lot of it.
thank you very much. That was those are the things that we should do to show gratitude and appreciation, and we appreciate you all doing that for us on our behalf. Mr. Tucker?
One of the items that we've been working on, of course, since I came, is working on programs that are unique and will keep students in our district and are good for our students in the city of Lorain. We started on this next venture a little while ago, and so I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Hall and Mr. Morick, and we have a guest from Lorain Community College tonight, Cindy Kushner, and we're excited to announce tonight that we will be starting what's called Titan College, where you'll be able to earn an associate's degree at Lorain High School.
I'll start off. Each year I receive phone calls stating my son or daughter was not selected or met specific criteria for many of our pre-college programs. I really have very few answers for them until now. For the last 2 or 3 months, Lorain City Schools have been working with Lorain County Community College in developing a rigorous and obtainable high school associate's degree program open to all of our students. Mr. Tucker, Rich Moore, Diane Conabear, the team for Lorain County Community College staff, and myself have been meeting to develop a program which will allow all of our students to acquire an associate's degree for free without leaving Lorain High School, called Titan College. Tonight we have Rich and Cindy Kushner from Lorain County Community College to introduce and explain Titan College. Mr. Moore, Cindy.
Thank you. I am absolutely delighted to be here this evening to share with you, along with Rich, what we've been working on. Just to give a little bit of a brief history, Lorain City Schools was actually the very first school district way back when I first started at Lorain County Community College to reach out to us. I think it was Superintendent Hutlock then and Dr. Church who dreamed up this idea of why can't we offer some of these college courses right at the high school campus where we have faculty in place who can deliver the college level coursework. And at Southview High School with Ray Pagan and Fred Dahl, we began the first of these courses. Annie Robinson, some of you may have remembered, was the first one for us to hire at LCCC for $0 so that we could share this cost in the co-delivery and bringing these college courses to the high school students. This really was transformational. It removed barriers for students. Students who were highly involved with their high school could now take courses. Students who perhaps had transportation issues could now take college courses at their environment. So we hired, we share faculty now. We have some tremendous faculty members that are teaching the college courses now through this partnership. So we're very, very grateful to be able to expand our pool of wonderful faculty. Other historical things that we've done with Lorain City Schools and of course the Leary City Schools is the Lorain County Early College High School, which we're all very, very proud of. And of course Dr. Hall alluded to that already, that this is a selective process. Not everybody who wants to get in gets in because we only have so many seats. It's dictated by the early college model and funding that comes with it, that it remains a small school. So unfortunately, we do have to turn students away. The new Titan College that Rich and I will explain a little bit more about will really expand this opportunity for high school students, Lorain high school students, to achieve the full associate's degree. As you can see, we had about 215 students from Lorain participating in early college this past year, and about 137 Lorain high school students participated in dual enrollment or post-secondary enrollment options. So had strong participation, but this will really take it to the next level. So let's share a little bit more about that at Titan College.
Thank you.
Can we hold it?
No, that's fine. Okay, as both Cindy and David had alluded to, Titan College, this is a brand new partnership. It's not the early college. It's not sending students out to the Lorain County Community College campus. This is on our campus. This is the Lorain High School. We can do an associate's degree on our own campus, and between our faculty and utilizing the online program, which we will need to do at least probably for the first year, or some arts and humanities courses that we don't currently have staff for, we will be able to do this. Again, this is LHS students participating in combined high school college experience on our campus. The goal is very simple. They're going to be able to earn their high school diploma and college associate degree at the same time. In grades 9 through 12, beginning in 9th grade, they'll be actually earning college credit. We created a brand new course for the 9th grade, but we're also going to be running it at the main campus next year as well for those students who didn't have the opportunity to take those courses. But we do have a half-credit course that will basically be the beginning of this, and they'll be able to begin that in 9th grade. Again, it's tuition-free, and we're positioned for success. The curriculum is going to be challenging. It's college coursework. But we will have in place the support services that are needed. We are following an early college model on some of these things. They have support services that are in place for those students whenever they go out there. And we need to do the same thing on our campus to make sure that those students are successful.
I think you've heard this a few times already. This is not the early college high school. This is delivered completely on Lorain High's campus. There are some differences that I want to point out. So while you can achieve the associate's degree through either program, and I love, no one loves the early college more than I do. I've been a huge fan. But what I like about this new model, the Titan College, one of the things I like about it is much more flexible. So students can come into it throughout 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, whenever they're ready. We'd like to hook as many as we can early on and help them continue to build on their success. But if somebody, light bulb goes off in 11th grade or whatever, we then will welcome them with open arms into the Titan College so that they can continue that path of success. We're also looking for a ripple effect. So once the students see Titan College, and hopefully that will inspire and again sort of ripple out throughout the entire high school campus and middle school. We do have a course called the ESTA 102, Strategies for Student Success. This is one we want to offer at the freshman level. So we want to give them the tools and really kind of open their eyes to learning more about themselves so that they know what their strengths are, their weaknesses are, build on those strengths, and address those weaknesses in a way that will help them be successful in college. So the 102 class, SDA 102, will really be a great foundation for students. As Rich mentioned, this is modeled after the early college, high school regarding curriculum and student supports. We are building in built-in mentoring. Tutoring will be mandatory if students drop below a certain GPA. And there is a criteria set. So with early college, it's very much open. It's really just first generation college students. Their parents haven't completed a college degree. That's the main criteria. For this one, we really have set the bar a little bit. It is for stronger students. As you can see, for freshmen, they need to have at least a 3.5 GPA, and sophomores. And then for juniors and seniors, it's a 3.0. Our hope is once we get really good at this and have a little bit of statistics and proof that we're doing a good job, we'd like to open it up a little bit more, but we want to be cautious. We want to make sure we're successful, that students have a great experience before we really expand that. So we build that culture, going to college culture, and that student success. Yes. So I talked a little bit about who's eligible by criteria. Other things we want to look at is attendance, discipline, grades, and motivation. Especially at the beginning of this, we want to make sure, again, that students are positioned for success and then be more inclusive as we can. Most important factors for us to consider as we allow students in or invite students into this program is you must be a Lorain High School student. If you're not a student, you must transfer in the district to participate. So not everyone can participate. You have to be a part of the school district. I mentioned the GPA already. We are going to look at ACT and Compass scores as well, like we do with other LCCC students. So we'll look at those scores by course, not by participation into the overall program. So you need to be ready for college English to take it. And then we want parents and students to commit to an academic success plan. So we really want to set that expectation from day one, like the early college does, so students know what they're getting into, families know what they're getting into, and what's expected to support them towards their success. And we really expect success, and if those supports are in place, we know the students can do it because we've seen it with the early college. So that's, now it's Rich again, right? So Rich will walk you through what the curriculum looks like real briefly so you can see how it sort of is set up.
Okay, this next slide starts off with the ninth grade, and you can see this is just an example of the coursework that students would take as a ninth grader. We've left this kind of fluid, I guess is one way of looking at it. You're able to still take band. You're able to have electives. That was very important to this whole model, that a student isn't just on our campus taking all college courses, but they're able to be a part of the high school and have that experience. It's very important for them to be able to do that. So here in ninth grade, the very first course up there, it says College and Career Readiness. This is the brand new course that I was talking about earlier. And you can see that it has the LCC course next to it. The SDV 102 and CISS 121 are both taught in there. Okay, both of those line up with business competencies from the Ohio Department of Education for career and technicals. This is a career and technical course. It's a half credit. In the third column, you can see the college credit. Both of those college courses are worth 3 credits each. As a ninth grader, taking this half credit class, you can actually earn 6 college credits. It's not enough just to take the class though. SDV 102 has an exam that you're going to need to pass at the end of this portion to get the credit. CISS 121 also has an exam through web exam. It's an OCTA test, and you need to be able to pass it to get these credits. But they're there. There's 6 credits. That's actually more credits than what early college model offers to a ninth grader. So we're a little bit ahead of the curve. We still have English 9. We have students that are going to be coming in with either taking algebra or geometry as ninth graders, depending on what they did in middle school. They've got physical science, world studies, health, and they can still be in band or some other elective. Okay? In 10th grade, same setup. Now you have biology, you've got the LCC courses there, general biology and human biology, the course credits are there. And again, in U.S. studies. So we've matched those up. There's your dual enrollment. Students are taking our high school course, they're also taking the college credit at the same time. Okay? And again, down towards the bottom, you'll see that they'll still be able to do band, other electives. Foreign language kicks in here. There's language number 1 or another elective if they choose not to do a foreign language. Okay? One thing that's very important to note is that this is just an example. The high school has done an incredible job over the years with offering what were then called PSEO courses, the college courses on our campus. They offer far more than what you're going to see in the next slide, next 2 slides, okay? You can't put everything on here. Again, this is just an example. If a student chooses not to take general biology and human biology, that's okay. They may be able to take something online through the Angel system with the college. They may take something else to fulfill those requirements. So this isn't necessarily lockstep for the college courses. They still need U.S. studies, though, for graduation. Okay? Okay, in 11th grade, one thing to note, as you go through, you'll see we had six hours in 9th grade. I think there's like 14 hours in 10th grade of college coursework. 11th grade, obviously, there's a little more. So now you're almost a full-blown college student by the time you get into 11th and 12th grade. Up here you have the 3rd high school requirement that requires them to have a lab. You've got general organic and biochemistry, and you've got a chemistry and society in there for 7 credits there. Also, I'd like for you to note down at the very bottom, career and technical education plays a very large role in this. This program happens to be our graphic communications. We're going to be reworking that. The state is rolling out new curriculum for us. It's going to be, we're going to pilot this next school year. But you'll see that Mr. Dino Pappas had already done some articulations. We have articulated credit for graphics design 1 and 2, and there's room in the schedule for him to also allow a student to be in his course and take an online course for arts and humanities. This is one of the courses that we don't currently have a teacher for, and the student will be able to do this online, okay, while they're actually in his program. The 12th grade, take a look at it, the college credit, you can see that it is extensive. Okay, I think there's like a total of like 31 hours of college credit during the 12th grade year. You are in college full time by the number of hours that you're taking there. We have anything from English on there. We've got your college math. Again, you'll see that the career and tech program is in there. And then down at the very bottom, the American government, there's 2 courses there as well. So by the time a student gets into 12th grade, if they are following this particular model, they will have taken a total, I believe, of 67 hours worth of college credit. They will have their associate degree. Okay, so some things that we're currently working on. The first one, reviewing current student transcripts for eligibility. We're working with the high school to see the students who are already involved in PSEO, pulling up, seeing what they've taken and how what we're doing can most benefit them. Some of them have just a few hours that they've taken with the college, some 20 plus hours. We just need to make sure that going through the transcripts that we get them pointed in the right direction. There are a few students, I believe, that are very close to having an associate degree. They just need to take the right courses next year as a senior in order to accomplish that. Other students are too far away. We need to look at that and see if they can do the Ohio transfer module. So at least they have that bank of 42 hours or so. They will go anywhere within the state of Ohio. Okay? The next bullet, developing further the brand, marketing, and recruitment plan. Dr. Hall had passed out a few things. We have a trifold that was passed out to you. We're going to be using that at the International Festival. There's several other things that are being passed out at that table, but this is one of them. Behind me, this is one of the banners that was created. This was also done in Mr. Dino Pappas' graphics program. These will be up. We'll be passing that out. You also have a draft of a postcard. It's a half page on stock. Yep, that's it. That's still in draft form. We're probably going to put something on the back on at least half of it, but we are looking to send this out to every home in Lorain City and beyond if we can do that. We want to get our kids back. We have a lot of students that are in local districts that surround us, and it's time for them to come home.
All right.
Cindy?
I guess, you know, I think we mentioned some of the things already up there about the success plans. Everyone will sign on to that. We'll have the parent support in place, and right now we're proactively identifying with help at Early College what supports will be needed for the students so that they're in place for them day one. So we're just thrilled, excited to be able to provide this opportunity together in partnership. We've been doing a lot together in the past. This really helps parents and students see the pathway to achieving that associate's degree rather than the pieces and parts. So thank you for allowing us to be partners.
Thank you. Before you all go, board members may have some questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
What was again the total college credits?
67.
And how many high school credits?
The high school credit, the way we are looking at doing the high school credits is matching with the college. So for every college credit, they give a 0.2. So a 3-credit course would give you 0.6 at the college. If you noticed, each of these had more than one course in them, so a student would actually be able to earn more than the one high school credit. If you had two 3-hour courses, like the 9th grade intro course, it would actually be worth 1.2 high school. So it ends up being 28.9 or something along that line.
And you might want to remind the freshman class that they will, if they go through in 4 years, they will be the first graduating class in the new high school. That might be a little more incentive for them too.
Mr. Smith, actually, to answer your question, it is 28.9.
Okay. Thank you.
Go.
The one thing that jumped out at me, and I think that would hit the parents too, was the word tuition free in the middle of the, and to get 2 years of college. I mean, that's great for the parents and for the student, because when you come out of college, everybody's talking about a lot of college debt, student debt that they, for loans and things that they go. I mean, that's exciting. It really is. It's a great thing for the community in Lorain.
Got a comment and a couple questions. This is really great opportunity for students and parents to have their students get a jump start on college. Really happy to hear, like what I heard tonight. I got 2 questions. If I'm a parent or I'm a student and I want to start the application process, the question is, what is the application process and when do you start applying for this if this is something that folks want to move down that path? Can you answer that question tonight?
I think I'm going to defer to Dr. Hall.
There's really no application process. We already started off with our first freshman class right now that's going into it. So we already have students ready to roll into SCEV classes right now. And we're ready to start beginning of fall coming up. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, our freshman cohort is already established, and the the application deadline was June 15th for the college. And the students that are in our freshman cohort already have already been approved and gone through the application process. The key and what our struggles have been over the past several years is the application process, getting students to finish, getting the transcripts in, and getting them Compass ready, because they have to pass the Compass test to take courses. And I just want to say thank you to Cindy. This past year, we administered the Compass test in the building, And we had 3 students eligible for math last year, so we could not run the course this past year. This year, because we actually brought the test into the building, we had 16 students qualify for math next year. So it's really exciting. And I just want to thank Cindy for all of her hard work, and Rich and Dave as well, so.
Also, to answer your question, on the postcard, there's a phone number, and it'll also be on the website, so they'll have someone to contact here.
So I have a couple of questions. The coming in, the present, or just the most recent 8th graders, they will be able to enter this program?
Based on GPA.
Okay, so what is the process by which we engage those kids and those parents?
We have PSCO nights at the 8th grade at the middle schools where we go in and we do presentations for the parents and the students.
Right, but I guess...
Once we pass this information here at the fair and get it around to the website, they'll call that number on the back, and then we'll take names and numbers and get back to them, and then we'll contact the parent and say, you know what, this is what it is, we have to put you in that course and get you set in a path, and tell them more information about it.
Yeah, because presently no 8th graders
Correct.
knew of this.
That is correct.
Right, I mean, obviously,
It
my
took
daughter's
us
an 8th
a long
grader.
time to put this together.
Right. So is there a really intentional effort to put information to all of those 8th graders, not waiting for them to seek out us or see a flyer, but is that something that we are?
We're planning on passing out, sending out those information, little brochures all the way home to hit every parent within Lorain.
We also have a summer bridge program.
Oh, yes. The summer bridge program as well, we're gonna hit them hard on that one. 8th graders going to 9th grade, so we do have that going on.
Okay.
But we're gonna blanket the whole community with it, with pamphlets, brochures, international festival, signs, website, and numbers in the back for them to call. So we'll hit pretty much the students that did not get in early college, we wanna hit them too as well. Tell them, look, you know what, you didn't get early college, but we have this program right here for you, so don't go anywhere. We sit with us, stay with us,
Right.
because we have this program for you. So we're planning on sending those out through the mail too as well. Like I get all kinds of things from Amherst, other school districts, so by the time we send our own stuff out to people, we have our own little brochures and pamphlets too.
That was my next question. Let's say, for instance, that somebody wants to open enroll into Lorain City Schools. Okay, is that still a possibility for open? If somebody comes in and open enrolls?
I'll go to their house, pick them up, bring them in.
Certainly, no problem.
Good answer.
I don't care what county.
And then another question, is there a
The
cap
answer is
limit
yes.
on the number of, for example, how many freshman slots are there? Or is there any limit? Is it as many kids or
Well, right now, there's 1 course and 1 teacher. And,
Right.
and I think that as the years go on, we're gonna build the program and recruit more students in.
So then-
But the groundwork is laid to
Mhm.
start the program this year. It's just all the Titan College and the details are being planned out now.
So how many freshmen will we have spots eligible
I
for
think we have
this year?
about
10 courses.
27 in SDV 101.
So,
There's a full class.
so
I
for,
can't,
right, I'm asking you. So for this year, for the freshman class, which are right now 8th graders, we have 27 potential slots.
don't quote me on the exact
Roughly.
number.
No, that's what class, there are,
That's one class.
we have 1
Single
teacher,
course.
there are 10 classes, that he teaches 10 sections.
Mhm.
5 first semester, 5 second semester, based on a 27 or a 25, you're at 250 plus.
Okay.
If that answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, it's gonna be one of those pieces where the floodgates are gonna open, and then we're gonna have, 75 apply, 200 apply, and then we have to go through, well, you're in, you're out, first come, first served basis with the criteria for all of that. That's just-
Great problem to deal with.
Yeah.
And I'll go on record as saying that we will waive any, we talked about an application deadline, but this is new. We can waive that deadline if you can find places to put the students into the class. So, we embrace this and want to support the best we can.
We've been working on this for 6 months. It took a long time to get all these parts in place, and this came from the germ of an idea, and then I said, go see if we can do it. And I thought it would be for next year, and they go, no, we can do this. We can make it happen. I go, then let's make it happen. Even if it's a small pilot, we'll grow it from there. This hadn't happened.
Fantastic.
Again, the nice thing is, even if the student doesn't do, they're in 9th grade next year, and they're not in there, 10th grade, take the course then. there's room in your schedule, is it an elective? Let's do, yeah, we can do this. It's not, again, it's not lockstep. It's, you know, it's fluid. A student can hop in, and we can still make this happen for them.
Even if they don't get the associate's degree, if they get 50 hours, they go and they can get their associate's degree pretty quickly at community their first year out.
We have
Or
students
summer.
right now, we're looking at transcripts to see how well they fit into this right now. Some students right now may be possibly able to acquire associate's degree the following year. So, and to mark up class over summer, so it's very possible they can do this right now.
Any more questions, gentlemen?
I don't know.
Yes.
Just to follow up on the ninth grade student, there's 2 classes that are offered, strategies for creating college success. Does that, and then the second one is microcomputer applications. Do both of those classes run from September through June? Or are they half a year?
No, the high school course is a semester long,
Semester long?
and both of these courses are semester long as well.
So theoretically, if incoming freshmen could not take these first two courses, but kind of sort of catch it a little later on in the school year and say, oh yeah, this sounds great, so they could pick it up the second semester
Yes.
and take both those classes.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you very much.
I just want to commend all of you on such a great job with this program. It's another prime example of a great partnership with Lorain County Community College and Lorain City Schools. Another great example of the quality education that we're offering our students here in Lorain City Schools. It, again, makes us unique to anybody in the county, I think, and I would like to know if there are, to the best of our knowledge, any other school districts in the state of Ohio that offer a program like this. Again, you know, that's a great promotion for this school district to be doing something so educationally creative that gives our students a great opportunity at getting ahead of the educational world of higher education. So great job, thank you very much, and you know, another exciting positive for Lorain City Schools and Lorain County Community College.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hall, Mrs. Conover, and your staff. Great job. At this time, we would entertain our first hearing of the public. If any of you would like to address the board, we would welcome you to come to the podium. Please state your name and address, and you may address the board at this time.
My name is Bill Kuliks, K-U-L-I-C-S. I think most of you guys know me. I've talked before in front of the board. I'm a management consultant, semi-retired now. About 3.5 years ago, I think it was November of 2009, I got interested in the fact that there were a lot of students, hundreds of students leaving the school system each year. And I kind of liken that to some of the businesses that I've dealt with, because as businesses get into trouble and they need to turn around, the vast majority of them didn't have ethical problems necessarily, and most of the guys knew how to handle the finances and so forth, but what it was a marketing problem, and more specifically, a branding and a positioning and knowing who their ideal customers were. And so I offered at that time to look into maybe doing a prototype or a pilot type of program that we could maybe find out why some of these students are leaving, and maybe there's a real basic reason. Maybe it's not splattered all over the place. And the only way that you find that out, and this has been my experience working with businesses, is it's almost never what you think it is. You know, you go, okay, I'm an expert in this, I know what's going on, and you go out there and you talk to the customers, and it's not anything like that. So what I'm willing to do is I've talked to a couple of my friends, and we've got some time. I'm semi-retired now. I'd like to continue on with that. I almost had a program set up with Dr. Branham, and then I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it basically got dropped. And I'm willing to start off a basic program if I can go out and talk to some of these students and or parents to find out if there's maybe some basic reasons that they've gone to these other schools. I mean, the thing that doesn't make sense to me, we've got almost all brand new buildings, state-of-the-art facilities, and these kids are leaving to go to old, decrepit buildings, and it just doesn't make sense. You know, so I'd like to find out why that is. And what I'd like to do is ask you for your help and cooperation if you want, we can work out something together, but I'd like to do this as a separate entity, get some people in the community involved. I can hat them up on how to go out and do surveys and stuff, because basically what you're going to need is to find out about your competition and find out about your customer base. And I'm just intrigued as to why these charter schools are doing so well and they're pulling all these students. I saw the figures recently as to the amount of students. I think it's like 3,000 students that are eligible to be in the Lorain County, Lorain City School District that are now going to either open enrollment private schools, parochial schools, or community charter schools. And I think Mr. Weber's figure was what, just under $21 million in revenue that is going out of the school system that could be ours if we were able to capture all the students. So I don't know if you're interested in finding out more about that, but it seems to me that's a pretty good sum, and it can handle a lot of financial things. I'd like to cooperate with you and work with you and do a basic pilot, and let's see how it goes. So think it over, and that's my offer. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This time I need a motion to approve or amend the minutes from the regular board meeting held on June 11, 2013.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
I was not at the meeting, so I abstain.
Mr. Fells?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
I too was absent, so I shall abstain. Thank you. Gentlemen, is there any old business for discussion? This time we'll move on to report and recommendation of the treasurer, Mr. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. There are 9 items on the docket this evening. The first two, item 1 and 2, have to do with the May 2013 financial reports. Items 3, 4, and 5, I'll get to in a second. That's we're in the close week for fiscal year 2012-13. And I'll show you a slide in a second which applies to items 3, 4, and 5. Items 6 are for the temporary appropriations to open up fiscal year 2014. Item 7 has to do with an agreement between the Educational Service Center, Lorain Digital Academy, and the Lorain City School District. Item 8 has to do with, as we know, the STRS rules are changing effective July 1st, 2013, and this resolution keeps us at a status quo to where we are today. And item 9 has to do with the Lorain Public Library trustee appointment of Mallory Holmes. I talked about items 3, 4, and 5, which are the closeout of fiscal year 2012-13. This one slide sums up everything that's in items 3, 4, and 5. It shows, the left-hand column shows that we have revenues. They're not closed by the way yet. We're done with our paperwork. We can't close till at least Monday or a little bit after, officially, because the calendar hasn't turned yet. But for fiscal year 12-13, we're going to have about almost $92 million of revenue. Our expenditures are about 91. You can see if I subtract these two figures, are about $1.2 million for revenue minus expenses. Our beginning cash at the year was $2.8 million. Our ending cash, for the sum of these two, gives you almost 4. And I subtract out the encumbrances, which are really called the outstanding purchase orders to be paid next year. So that gives us $1,833,202. That's significant because back in May, only about a month ago, I forecast us to have an ending balance of $685,000. So we are better by $1,148,535. And if you think back to about a year and a half ago, before Mr. Tucker was on board, Dr. Brennan and I were with the district and our stakeholders trying to get rid of a $12 million deficit for this year that we're in right now. And that positive balance is a pretty good accomplishment for all of us and all our stakeholders and everybody. So I think it's a pretty good set of things we just came up with this past fiscal year. So items 3, 4, and 5 all crystallized in that slide. with the transfers, advances, item 3. Item 4 is called the appropriation closeouts, and item 5 are the estimated resources. So what I'd like to do is to take items 1 through 6 separately, if that's okay with the board.
Motion to approve items 1 through 6.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
I recommend approval of item 7, which is to consider the approval of a service agreement between the Educational Service Center, Lorain County, Lorain Digital Academy, in conjunction with Lorain City School District.
Motion to approve item 7.
Second.
Discussion?
This is our charter school, correct?
Correct, for which we are the sponsor.
Yes, and it does quite well. I think on some of the notes you said they had $800,000 or $900,000 in their bank account.
That is correct, and almost 200 students right now. It's
Right.
grown quadrupled in the last couple of years.
And graduated 22 this year.
That's right.
Well, it's interesting because in some of the reports that the Department of Education gave to the Academic Distress Commission, this is a growing trend, I believe, Mr. Tucker. And I would like to see us capitalize on it. In the district this year, according to the ODE numbers, 400 students took online digital classes from the district. Almost 200 attended our digital academy, but actually more went online to a digital academy out of Columbus, and then some smaller ones. But the total was 400 students. And I think we should, at some point, look at the possibilities of folding the digital academy into our regular curriculum and offer.
That was looked at, and it wasn't advisable at the time. We are going after the community, the other e-schools. There was some reorganization that began to take place prior to my arrival, because there weren't many students enrolled in that digital academy, I believe, last year. I know someone has the exact figure here. I was just talking to Barboa today, but it's probably not quadrupled, tripled probably this year, because we've gone after that. But at this point, it's a community school, and that's the recommendation right now, is to leave it as a community school. Because it's
recommendation by whom?
It's doing quite well, from Mr. Weber and myself.
Well, I just thought it would be a look back at our old, very successful program in the 80s called Magnet Schools. One of the things that the Youngstown Academic Distress Commission has learned, according to some of the reports, is the more choice you give parents, the more parents get involved with the kids in the schools. And I just thought, not this year, it's too late anyway, but offering a curriculum in which parents could choose an all digital, an all traditional classroom, or a combination might draw people back and might keep some of those people that are considering leaving. And a lot of public schools, Mr. Tucker, around the country are doing that. And for one of the reasons is it cuts costs, because you could have a teacher teaching 2 separate classes. Half the week, one set of kids would be in the classroom while the other set was at home. And then the last half of the week it would reverse. And I saw a show put a year and a half, 2 years ago on the American Enterprise Institute with educators from across the country that were doing this. So it certainly bears, I would hope we don't leave it just at this point, because it's growing.
Please, sure. Choice, of course, and you and I agree on that. And if you remember my academic recovery plan that I presented that we're going forth with, we have 4 different choices that we're looking to expand upon. So we're already working on that. You saw one big choice tonight. That was step 1. The other thing we're planning on doing is we also have the credit recovery, which is a lot of blended learning. And we also are instituting Plato, which also is electronic learning within our district, with the district students right in the buildings. So we are doing a lot of that already. We have to do it a little bit at a time. Right now, that Digital Academy is being very successful. I just don't want to tamper with success at this point, and there's a process you have to follow to dismantle community schools. And right now, I think we're positioned in a good place at this time.
Thank you. Any other discussions? Is there a vote on the floor? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes?
Mr. Fells?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Item 8, consider approval of resolution for the Lorain City School Board of Education authorizing the current retirement pickup and pickup on pickup of employees' contributions for the affected STRS administrative employees.
Motion to approve item 8.
Support?
Discussion, gentlemen?
This, are these the, is this the full list of employees still on the pickup? Or are there others?
These are the STRS employees.
Okay. Is it the only retirement plan going to a higher contribution this coming year?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Right.
And it's a step thing over what, 4 years?
4 years, 1% a year, yeah.
Any more discussion? Questions? Roll call, please, Mr. Weber.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Abstain.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes. Note the purpose for the abstention of Mr. Sturgill was this includes his son, who's an administrator in the district.
And who's serving his country bravely.
Item 9.
88 days.
Item 9 is to consider the appointment of Mallory Holmes to fill the unexpired term of Jody Penwell as Lorain Public Library trustee for the period of July 1st, 2013 to December 31st, 2015, and Doreen is already been approved by the Lorain Public Libraries. This is a formality for Board of Education.
Motion to approve. Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. And at this time, report recommendations of the superintendent.
Before I make my recommendations, just a very quick update. The last two commission meetings were held in this room, and they were approximately 4 hours each, 3.5 hours each. What had occurred at both meetings was a very dig deep into programming and data. And that's pretty much what the discussion was, and if you read the paper, that pretty much encapsulated what's there. A lot of discussion, them understanding where the district's at, how they got there, plans for the future, and what we're planning to do. This next meeting, which is July 8th, we will be presenting a lot of data on student achievement, and a lot of that data we've covered here and talked about here, but we'll be going through and getting more in depth. What they're looking at doing at this point in time is picking 6 or 7 or 8, I'm not sure exactly how many items, they haven't come to that conclusion yet, to find measurable academic items that they can measure and make sure we held our feet to the fire to make sure that those occur. We have our plan, which we're going forth with, because it's encompassing and it's over 3 years. They're going to be looking at, and the big discussion at the last meeting was over the assessments and to make sure our students are achieving. And let's say there's nothing concrete yet. It's been a lot of very educational discussion, curricular discussion. So once more comes, there'll be more information and more reports, because other than that, that's pretty much all it's been.
Thank you.
Under personnel matters, item 1, consider approval of following miscellaneous items. This is the one job description. This is beginning of restructuring here. We're ramping this up to make it more than the network associate director, or making it more than the network. We're also, as part of technology, as you can read in the job description.
Item 2, approval of discontinuances. Mark Solis has both of his positions resignation. B, support staff resignation is listed. Item 3, these are approval of the supplementals, either for the music, the band programs coming up. And I know the question's going to ask now that there's some carryover. We are reviewing all of those to see which ones we can bring back. Cheerleading's already been implemented. You'll be voting on that probably at the next meeting. But we're reviewing all of those at this time to see which ones we can get back. Item 4, consideration of new appointments. The head football coach has been announced as a recommendation. B, this is following teachers for OGT summer tutoring. This is a requirement to have that tutoring for those students. Item C, following teachers be hired for our summer credit recovery program. This is real crucial to make sure our students are on track for the ones that got off track this year. We've had pretty good attendance, and students have really been working hard. I'm astounded. I really am with the amount of students that have come in and done the work. Item D, following teachers for the summer enrichment program. This is for our 8th graders. And over item E, summer bridge program. This is for teachers. And item F is the summer bridge program for the social workers. That summer bridge program is 2 hours of academics and 1 hour of leadership. So we're covering all those areas. And those are our 8th graders going to 9th grade. Item G is the LD tutors hired for the OGT testing. This is a requirement that we have to do for those students that will be testing this summer. Item H is OGT tutoring testing substitute. Some people can't make it, so you have to approve for the subs that are there for the time if the other ones can't make it. Item I is the following administrators. This is for our summer school programs, and those are the buildings, and that's what their positions are. Item J is the secretaries for those summer school programs. And I'm just checking to make sure I got all of them. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Yep, got them all. And item 5 is the reduction of the LAA positions. These are the SFA coordinators or SFA administrators now that we're going for another reading program. Every one of these folks will have a position in the district. None of them will be out of a job because we are creating some instructional coach positions, which will open up those, also teaching positions, and some will be some assistant principals for elementaries that we're going to float next year due to the O test. So I ask approval of personnel matters A, items 1 through 5.
Motion to approve personnel matters, items 1 through 5.
Second.
Discussion?
As I had told the superintendent and treasurer and board president, and the rest of the board members are aware of this by email this morning, because of the present fiscal forecast showing $1.5 million deficit, and because there is no plan to address that, even though by this time next month it may have reversed itself, because we'll know then what the governor signs by the 30th. I actually was concerned enough to, upon my own, meet with an attorney, and I have been advised until a revised forecast with a positive balance or a plan to address any deficits is presented to the board, that I should not support any motions that include general fund expenditures, and I intend to follow that advice.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Fellis?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
No?
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Operation matters, item 6. We're going to do this one by itself because this is the one I brought last time, but we didn't have the quorum for this. This is approval of the COP program, which is not a law enforcement. It's College Opportunities Partnership Program offered at Lorain High School. This is for the students, qualified students that earn college credit, which is some of your night. So I ask approval for item 6.
Motion to approve item 6.
Support motion.
Discussion?
Item 6 is a general fund expenditure.
Absolutely.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Abstain.
Mr. Smith?
No?
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Item 7, approval of an agreement with Healthcare Process Consulting. If you remember a board meeting or two ago, we passed the audit for this. This is the consulting company that works with us so we can get the Medicaid billing for a lot of the work that our psychs do, and then we can get reimbursed, and we're looking at possibly as high as 6 figures reimbursement to the district, and this is the company that does that. So I ask for approval of that contract. Item 8 is a contract with the Lorain County Urban League. It's gear up expenditure. This is college visits that they provide for our students involved in those programs. Item 9 is a contract with Northwest Evaluation Association, NWEA, and also their web-based assessments, measures of academic progress. This is a real crucial piece of our academic recovery, because what this does is there's going to be 3 assessments that we're going to give 3 times a year, September, January, and May. What this does is this measures student growth, and there's very few assessments that do that. You have to have some approved by the state, and this is what we've chosen. It's an adjustable test, so what happens is if you're in 5th grade and they ask you a 5th grade question, if you answer really well on that, they may up you to a 5th grade and a half, and then a 6th grade. If you don't, they drop you down and then they ask the questions till they bring you up to a certain level. It also gives us Lexile scores, which is the reading scores. It also has a component for identifying gifted. This is for K through 10th graders. The science for English language arts and math, and it also is science for 3 through 10. It's a diagnostic test in that what it does is it tells the teachers what the students don't know so they can direct their instruction to work with that. So that's item 9. Item 10, nope, that's facility matters. So I ask for approval of items B, operations, 7, 8, and 9.
Motion to approve items 7 through 9.
Second.
Discussion?
On item 7, where is the funding coming from?
As part of the reimbursement that they get for us, they get a percentage of that. It's in the contract.
Well, I've read the contract and it says $10,000.
Okay. Then that's
With a $15,000
it comes out of their reimbursement.
And on item 9, that is a general fund expenditure?
Yes, it is.
Now, in reading that contract, there are a number of changes, strikeouts.
That was from our attorney.
Okay, so is that going to be redone without those? Because generally in a contract...
Yeah, but we just want to get it on the agenda because we got to get moving on this.
So the final one won't have those changes?
Correct. That was through the attorney. Yeah.
Okay.
Indemnifying.
Otherwise, usually put an initial at the point of change by both parties. Okay, thanks.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
No.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
And Mr. Lane?
Yes.
C, facility matters. Item 10, consider approval of a resolution regarding the disposal of the Meister Road property. Item 11, consider approval of a resolution regarding the disposal of the property of West 5th Street, Hamilton Avenue, and West 6th Street. And item 12, approval of a resolution for the LFI initiative for the new high school. Item 11, as a personal note, I spent many, many years on that property marching up and down, 15 years as a student and a band director. Why don't I buy it? It was hot on that black but it's
grass. It's all grass now.
It's all grass. So I ask for approval of C, items 10, 11, and 12.
Motion to approve items 10, 11, 12.
Support.
Discussion?
Well, I was going to do this under committee reports, Mr. President, but it makes more sense to do it now.
Should we do it after the vote or?
No, well, we can do it part of discussion because as it says in the motion, we're going to use a total of $8,395,730. That money comes from the interest we have earned on the bond fund, our portion, and we've been able to earn the interest because the state, over the last 10 years, about 10 years, has used their money 100% for all of the buildings and all of the other facility demolitions, whatever. And they agreed to use their money till their money ran out. Had they not done that, we would not have the ability to do this. And this money, I believe, is being split between an auditorium, which only a politician in Columbus would come up with a building program that said you can't use state money to build an auditorium with permanent seats. But if we put folding chairs in there, I guess they would have. Well, we didn't do that. Most of the money is being used because the state did not want to build the school the size we wanted. They only wanted to build a high school to hold 1,780 students. We wanted to build one that would have held 2,016 students. Because of the LFI and the interest money, we were able to compromise, and the high school will hold 1,960 students. But the good part is, if we're right and the state is wrong, then whatever part of that $8 million, which would be about $5 million, if we're right and we have the students there, and with programs that we were talking about tonight, we might, they will reimburse us for 81% their share of that interest money. So if we work hard over the next, 3 years, Mr. Tucker, and we fill that school, we don't only get the kids, we get money back from the state. And right now, on the project, we have $9,071,889.52 in our interest fund. So there is sufficient funds to do the LFI. We will have right now about $675,000 left. And just as a point of interest, we have spent $138,396,274 to date on the facilities project. And in the original fund, there's $70,160,810 left to build the high school, do all of the others, plus the interest. And there's $1,281,801 in the state interest fund. So we are really in a really good position. We have saved a lot of money under what people thought we were going to spend. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, I believe the number, if I did it correctly, is in the year 2016. The number we need is 2016.
No.
Students,
No, we need 1,960.
You sure?
That was a negotiated piece. It would have been 2016, they negotiated to.
Okay,
We
okay.
compromised it down to 1,960. If we have that many or even close to it. And the
That's
state-
better.
It is, and the state, I mean, they didn't, that wasn't a negotiated part of it. They willingly said, if your numbers are right and our numbers are wrong, we will reimburse you 81% of the cost of that extra space, which I felt was rather a very good sign from the state. So let's go on and fill the building.
And just for everyone's memory, roll call.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes?
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes, thank you, Jim, for that.
You're welcome.
D, other matters, consider approval of Section A of the policy manual. Most of these are just reviewed, there's just a very few new ones in here. And item 14, while it looks like there's a lot here, they are all A policies that are also located throughout the policy manual. And item 15, approval of the district-wide dress code, which came from the recommendation from Diane brought it, so I'm not sure exactly where. She had a committee to put that together, I believe, correct?
Dr. Hall did.
Dr. Hall, okay.
Motion to approve items 13 through 15.
Second.
Discussion?
So I said in my email, Mr. Tucker, that's quite a bit for board members to review in 2 days. I would be willing to vote on the teacher evaluation because that has a July 1st required date by the Ohio Revised Code. But I would prefer moving those other policies to give me and the other board members time to do due diligence.
It's a motion. Roll call.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
No.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
An update on that, we have B, C, D, and E just about ready. We'll get those to you earlier, so you can do those. We're working on these with OSBA, and we're making some progress. The board members on the policy committee are pushing to get those done, so. Right, Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
So we're
It's time.
working on those. So that concludes my report and recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. This time, do we have any new business for discussion? Okay, I believe we've just had a committee report from Jim. Are there any other committee reports or requests from board members at this time? And at this time, we would entertain a second hearing of the public. If you would wish to address the board, please come forward and we will hear what you have to say. No takers? Thank you. This time we're going to have a request to go into executive session. There will be no decisions coming out of the executive session, so our guests are welcome to leave. There will be, again, no decision making. So may I have a motion, and Dale, what exactly are the, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Tucker?
Next board meeting?
Yes.
We have very little or nothing to bring for that July 8th meeting. I will, Mr. Weber doesn't.
So then our next board meeting will be the second Tuesday in July.
That would be okay.
Could you give me that date, please, Mr. Weber?
That is the Tuesday, July 23rd.
So then at this stage, the next school board meeting will be held here on Tuesday, July 23rd at 6:30 p.m. And now the specific item for the executive session.
I think we need one for A7 compensation. Chuck, do you have anything for exec session?
Yep, the other one.
C. A1 employment. Anything with D?
A2 employment, right?
Yeah.
Two and seven.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Appointment, promotion, demotion, and compensation.
Appointment. A1 appointment, A5 promotion, A6 demotion, A7 compensation.
And what about the other legal piece? Where does that fall under?
The other one is D.
Okay, now that he's read all those off, can somebody please make that motion?
Motion to go into executive session for A2, 5, 6, 7, and D.
Is there a second?
That was A1, A5, A6, A7, and D is in D, right?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, never mind, yeah.
We need a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.